My name is Anna Wang. I'm a parent and a co-founder of Friends of Children with Special Needs, a nonprofit organization here in the Bay Area. And I'm going to share with you creating special needs housing with Family Partnership LLC model. So what is Family Partnership LLC? This particular model is set out to bring happiness to individuals with special needs and a peace of mind for their families. It is a whole system of support, not only providing the housing, but also bundle services that go along with the housing. As we all know, even if we provide a castle for our individuals to live in without services, it could be a living hell for them. Families created housing usually uses supported living services. And when we talk about bundled services or comprehensive services, we are saying that this particular housing is close to a service center and is close to all the support and services. So it is convenient for emergency response to make sure their health and safety is ensured. And also because it's close to a service center and the services, we don't need to worry about transportation service too much. So the bundle service begins with family support program. And actually, that's where our housing partnership LLC model came from, is because a bunch of families got together and decided what is the future housing for our children with special needs was the most ideal. So the parent support or family support program includes seminar and support groups where all the information how to raise a child with special needs and how to plan for their future are shared in these family support group. And of course, it is a place where we can share our tears and joy. And also at this service center, we should have children's program because a lot of children with special needs enter into a service center program and they kind of grow up together. And it's more likely to become roommates when they become adult in this particular family partnership housing model. As our children grow up, we also have to bring along all the services that they need as an adult. So adult day program nearby, that's most ideal. It could be center-based or community-based. And also, some of our individuals may be able to enter in a real career where they can earn money and become more independent and also boost the self-esteem that they are contributing part of the community and society. So at the service center, we do have job training and facilitate entrepreneurship if they have those opportunities, arrange for employment through their parents' connection, and also nonprofit collaboration with other businesses and also other local businesses and employers. So why do we use the Family Partnership LLC model? This particular model is a guarantees that our adult children will have a place to live happily ever after, and also along with support and services that will make sure they are cared for every day. As you know, right now, even Section 8 housing is such a long wait list. We don't know if we can get Section 8 housing for our children with special needs. And besides, a lot of the landlords do not welcome Section 8 voucher holders. So that's why we want to take kind of take matters in our own hands to guarantee our loved ones a wonderful place to live. And if we have a group of families together, forming this LLC is, of course, most cost-effective because we shared property tax and building costs and maintenance costs. And this way, we can also guarantee that the rental price for room and board is affordable for our adult children. And everyone that lives in this housing model have his or her own bedroom. They live with housemate, and definitely we need a service provider to provide the supported living services when they are all living there in this housing arrangement. And it will be a integrated community design. So we will go further into that, and you will see what I mean by that. Before I talk about further into the Family LLC project, I want to make one thing very clear, is that the apartments or the housing that the families developed is actually an LLC, a for-profit organization or company, okay? Because that is the end product of the housing is just like any apartment in the community or any rental housing in the community. And it has nothing to do with the nonprofit FCSN. FCSN is the service provider, but they don't have the funding or the resource to build housing for individuals with special needs. But they can be the service provider of these housing. So the partnership between the Family LLC and FCSN has to be clear. The Families LLC would be supplying the housing, and FCSN, the nonprofit, will be providing the services and support for the housing, the residents in the housing. So what we are trying to do is to build a loving home, a caring village, and a dream community for our individuals with special needs. So let's look at a successful housing LLC, Family LLC that had started in 2006. So it does have the pros and a little bit of the cons that we are going through right now. Long time ago, in 2006, our investment the families has made for their loved ones with special needs are more affordable. When we shared property tax, building costs, on the average, each family have to put in $150K to $200K to guarantee housing for the rest of their lives of the special needs loved ones. They have the right to move the children with special needs into this housing when they become adults. And each person will have their own private room, and each person living in that apartment would need to private pay the rental housing price agreed upon between the clients and the LLC housing. So approximately, even now, cannot believe it, only about $700 a month. They live with housemates and good support services, and the parents putting the initial $150,000 to $200K into this housing project actually annually get about approximately $7,000 back. So in about 20 years, those who paid $150K already will get the investment back, the capital amount of back in about 20 years. So it's definitely a very cost-effective model, affordable model, and is centralized LLC housing management that we engaged for this particular project to handle emergency situations and repair, such as if, the water pipe broke and water is everywhere, we have management for handling those emergency situations. And we are engaging one supported living service provider, which is FCSN, allowing flexibility in staffing and matching roommates. Because this particular housing project has 40 bedrooms, upstairs and downstairs. So if our special needs loved ones don't get along with their roommate for any reason, we can move them upstairs to another unit. And after they can get along with that other person, maybe they want to move back downstairs. We also have behaviors that comes in to do conflict resolution, so to make sure all people living in the apartment have a happy ending and they live happily ever after. And because we are engaging in one service provider, and each apartment unit will have about 4 different service providers serving different shifts. And we have, for each apartment unit, a case manager monitoring every shift and what's happening in every shift. So we protect our special needs loved ones from abuse. We can monitor the quality of service, and it is an advantage over having 2 or 3 providers. If something really bad happened, there is no finger pointing about whose responsibility that in that situation belongs to which staff and who caused it. So that is a protection that we all will give all the family members, the parents, peace of mind. So what about cons? When we have about 20 some families get together to invest in this housing project, is like many families getting married together. We cannot be very selfish. Sometimes throughout our project, we experience that the parents actually are not so happy about how things are going, even though the special needs loved ones are really happy in the apartment. Just one kind of a little bit of unreasonable complaint from a family LLC member. They are saying that, how come my special needs loved ones always get the bottom shelf in the refrigerator to put his or her food? And that becomes a disagreement, a dispute about, everybody having equal rights. So we actually don't encourage being selfish or being self-centered on what they would like the special needs individuals to have, but rather as a community, what is best for our special needs loved ones. So the first project timeline is in 2000, year 2000. Wow, seems so long ago, huh? Over 20 years. FCS and the parents acquired the land to build. And in 2001, the zoning got changed from commercial zoning to residential zoning. And when the parents were able to change the zoning, they immediately thought of the nearby service or the bundle service they need from FCSN. So they donated half of the acquired land to FCSN for the nonprofit to build a service center. So FCSN, on the other hand, independently fundraised to build their own center nearby. In 2002, designing the apartment. 2003, groundbreaking. 2004, is a building and construction in progress. 2005, we have to make sure FCSN have the design and vendorize program already for supported living service. And the parents are in support for FCSN to be vendorized for supported living services. In 2006, both the center and the housing had a grand opening, so that we will not miss a single day when our special needs loved ones get to move into housing. Service follows immediately. The apartment of this first dream project is owned by parents held in the LLC, 26 parents actually, and the adult children have the rights to occupy this apartment project. And the tenants, actually at that time, we determined should have no severe behavioral or medical needs because it's our experimental project, and we don't want too much complication for this first project. And we engage one service provider for supported living service, FCSN. It's a 4-bedroom in each unit, and this apartment complex has 10 units in it. So total of 40 bedrooms. So FCSN supported living service got vendorized, and they were able to supply the service to our special needs loved ones moved into the housing. And they live in their own apartment with their own live-in staff and roommates, and they have 24/7 support. They learned daily living skills. They live like a community since 2006. Everyone in there are so happy. All the programming's person-centered, and they are blissfully integrated into a community. 20 years ago, almost. And so what happened now? Because certainly things are different. How has the Dream Project Family Housing Partnership LLC model evolved? So we come up with more options to develop such a model. We can traditionally, just like the first project, buy land and build apartments. And the second thing is we can buy existing apartment and renovate. But that is a little difficult because, you know, existing apartments have different floor plans, and it may not be able to renovate to the way that we like how the floor plan flows for our special needs loved ones. Or buy existing condo units and be active in their homeowners association, meaning we want to make sure if we do buy condo units that our special needs loved ones is not being discriminated against in this community of condo development. And the fourth thing is really new because it just became law 2 years ago that you can build more housing units in your own residential lot. And that particular law is SB 9 that just came into effect October of 2021. So the Family Housing Partnership 2023, now the families are looking at developing high-density housing development and target land that is transportation hub land, meaning it's very close to BART station, train station, those kind of places where they allowed high-density housing development. It's not as affordable as before, unfortunately. The cost of such housing development is more like $450K to $600K for buying into the right to occupy our special needs loved ones. Now, this particular housing model that some of the families are engaged in now taking into account that some of the rooms are available for high needs clients with behavioral and medical challenges. And it's still guarantee housing by the parents, but the rights for the special needs loved ones to occupy the rooms and the housing in this housing development. Each person still have their own private room. Private pay rental housing for clients is approximately $1,000 to $1,300. We have to put in some cushion because, you know, the rental prices keep on going up, and the development prices of these housing keep on going up as well. Again, they live with housemate, good support from the service provider, and the return on parents' investment annually about $10,000. It certainly takes longer to get back what you invested. Another way is because we are targeting the transportation hub with high density housing, other developers also developing housing around those areas. So you can for sure see if you have a particular housing, new home kind of development, the floor plans you kind of like, and just call around and look at the floor plan and see if more families can buy units in this particular housing. But of course, it's more expensive because developers are looking to make a profit, whereas Family Partnership LLC is not, just to break even, and so they can move our special needs loved ones in there. So existing apartment is more cost to renovate. So and also the existing floor plan, as I said, may not be ideal at all. So there are many things that we reasons that we don't go with those two particular ways of providing housing for our special needs loved ones. This is very interesting. Multiple housing in the lot and use SB9, okay? And so before, if we own one lot, we only can build one house. But then, you know, maybe at most you have a big lot, you can build some duplex, a duplex in there, or a single home with some kind of an ADU. But now with SB9, you are allowed to, on a vacant lot, you can build, even without lot split, you can build 2 units of housing and 2 units of ADU. And so allows for different address and different arrangement in housing, a little bit more flexibility, not as flexible as a whole apartment. Of course, you can move the special needs individuals who don't get along with each other into another unit or ADU, but with an apartment, you can do all kinds of combinations. So if you have a big enough lot and were able to split the lot, then the possibility is even greater. In the third row, you can see that you can have 2, 3 big units of housing and an ADU. You can have all kinds of combinations. So that also provides flexibility in mixing and matching roommates and how our individuals are being cared for. We have known some group of families that have successfully implemented this particular housing model, which is a smaller housing model than our regular apartment building Family Partnership LLC. This is also Family Partnership LLC, but in a smaller scale. All the things that we are trying to do is to share resources, pull together our resource, make our special needs loved ones a home, a village, and a dream community. Right now, autism, CDC released the data that 1 out of 36 babies born will have autism. So certainly there's not enough housing to house all our special needs, especially kids with autism as they grow up. So we need multiple dream villages. Hopefully this kind of housing become a national model and an international model to serve our special needs community. Thank you for listening to my presentation.